Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody has a travel day, and consequently, we've sold more advance tickets. The hotels are slam full, and I think it's a very good decision to do so. And it's nothing like a packed house, standing room only crowd for the finals of the U.S. Open Nine-Ball Championship. It was rightfully so. And for years and years, it was difficult to do this. But, you know, you and I and Scott have discussed it. We figured out a way we could do this, and we have. And I'm elated to end it on Saturday night as well as everybody else.
Well, Barry, I think a lot of people that do know you know how much you care about making this event the best it can be, not only for the players, but for the spectators as well. And the foresight that you put into things and the way you plan them out, it's just a tribute to your success, and that's why this tournament is in its 32nd year. And I hope to be sitting with you here for, well, I don't want to say another 32 years, because I don't think either one of us want to be around that long. But
I hope that we're both here for our 50th.
I hope so
That's
too.
what I'm shooting for. Anyway.
Well, I hope so
Anything
too.
beyond that would be a bonus, and that's my desire as well. But the tournament will continue, hopefully, for a couple hundred years. And Reyes has made an unbelievable
Two-rail kick. Well,
Reyes is 52 or 53, and is actually playing the best pool, I believe, of his life.
and I don't know if everybody is aware that several years ago Efren had LASIK surgery. And after all the years of playing pool, his eyes were starting to give him a little bit of problem several years ago. And just think of what a decision it must have been for Efren Reyes to decide to have eye surgery. Not that it was a very risky procedure, but there are no assurances that,
I've had that.
I have too. I have too. Best money I ever spent.
Every pool player in the world is probably not too happy he had surgery. I mean, it only made it more difficult for anyone to win. He's just a phenomenal player, and I believe he's the greatest all-around player that's ever held the kid.
I think so too, and I think we're pretty fortunate to have been able to live to see a man like that.
We're living in an era where we see Tiger Woods, maybe the greatest of all time. Roger Federer in tennis, maybe the greatest of all time. And Efren Reyes, the greatest of all time as far as an all-around player. Yes, there's been better straight pool players, and yes, there may have been some, I don't know if anybody else could have beat him playing that ball, but wow. I mean, the man's just phenomenal. And, the magic that he brings, it's not just magic, Ken.
I think it's art. It really is. It's like a cellist playing a symphony. Now, Barry, Efren just scratched 2 rails in the side. This is Jim's first opportunity really to do anything, and let's see, he's down 4-0. He really hasn't had much to do but watch Efren for the last 15 minutes. Let's see how he responds.
Jim told me out in the hall just before he played that it's been 19 years since he's played the Open, and he wanted to give Efren 2 shots at the beginning of the match, and that he was going to fight hard and come back and win Hill. So let's see if that prediction comes true.
Well, Jim just made a very nice and a very smart shot with ball in hand. He drew it into the 6 off the 5 to knock it off the rail a little bit and give himself a much easier shot on the 6. And now it looks like stop, and he should be out and get himself a game on the board. And see if that does a little something for his confidence.
And I think the fans are really going to enjoy this. Hopefully, he's going to win this game. And he'll be on his way to the Hill down the road. And I'm very happy to see such a good turnout. This first day.
Yeah.
First day. In the afternoon. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah, there sure are. I was also, before you came up, telling the people that we have players here representing. All right, Jim won the 9. He broke the ice. It's 4-1.
He's on his way.
He's on his way. I was telling the audience before you came up that although this is the U.S. Open, it's kind of turning into the U.S. International Open with players represented here from 25 different countries around the world. And I started to...
Ever before. It's amazing, even from Kuwait.
I was reading some of these to the folks, and I got through half my list, and I still got the other half to read here, but we'll just fill them in. We have players here from Holland, from Bulgaria, from Honduras, Puerto Rico, Europe, Iceland, the United Kingdom, Mexico, Switzerland, the Netherlands, and Barry, we have a player here from Egypt. Now, what does that say about this tournament, that someone would come from Egypt to play in your tournament?
Well, it says it's a lot of sand over there, and it's cooler in October. And
Well,
the beach is right down the street.
What I think it is
I don't blame them at all.
What I think it is, that may be true, but I think that they know if they want to play the best competition in the world, this is the only place they can play that level of competition.
But they could have gone to California and played you, Ken.
Yeah, but, they could have just mailed it in too, Barry. I appreciate that, but it's a good thing for you. You don't let tournament directors play in this event, or you could just pay me and Scott, the $50,000.
You're right, and I would like to play too, but it just wouldn't be fair.
No, I'll put you in.
That's okay. It's a write-off.
Oh, okay.
I'll take care of it.
Okay. And speaking of that, though, in all seriousness, this is the first year. The first prize is $50,000.
I'm sorry to correct you.
Oh, no?
Second time. When Earl won it in 2000.
That's right. Was that the year with the large field?
280.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Earl received $50,000.
Well, once again, Barry Berman has stepped up as he always does, and even with a 233 player field that we've had this year, you did not reduce the prize fund, and it's as advertised.
But Ken, I'm going to have to cut you short. You and Scott, that's the only way I can take care of the boys. We all appreciate that, and I'll make a special mention of that at the finals, that you and Scott have done this hard work. As a donation, you're donating the money I was going to pay you to go back to the prize fund. So,
it's a labor of love, Barry. We just want to keep giving back to the sport. So if that's how it has to be, that's how it has to be.
And if anybody's recording this, please make sure it's send me a copy, because I'm sure Ken's attorneys will be fine.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go. I've been talking so much that I'm loquacious anyway, that I'm dehydrated as I speak. So I'm going to go get maybe an afternoon drink and leave you alone. And I know how much you'll appreciate that. So, and thank you for running my one pocket tournament the other night.
You're very welcome. It was a pleasure. And I'm going to cut you off real quick while you mentioned your one pocket tournament the other night. I want everybody to know that this man has the greatest staff I've ever met working at a pool room anywhere in the country. What wonderful people you have at Q Masters. They smile, they're respectful, they're prompt, they're courteous. It was an incredible experience, and they deserve to work for somebody like you, Barry. You really have
well, Ken,
done yourself proud.
Honestly, thank you, but if you work for me all the time, I don't know if you'd say that, but...
Well, see, I only work for you once a year, so I can get away with it, right?
I require excellence. I want the best for everybody. Equipment, staff, atmosphere. That's one of my fortes, is to offer the best. And I, consequently, sometimes I go a little overboard with staff. But, I feel that everyone deserves to have the best when they come to town. And
you've certainly provided that, and we want to make sure everybody is aware that Q Masters is open 24 hours a day throughout the entire U.S. Open.
And my staff has been doing a fabulous job. I called this morning, and I called last night, and I thanked them. I told my managers to let everyone know that I've heard nothing but thanks.
Well, Jason and Alex they're a credit not only to your place, but they're a credit to the industry. They really do a terrific job.
Well, Ken, thank you for appreciate it, and it was a pleasure being up here with you.
Great to have you, as always.
I'm glad that you're back.
Thanks, Barry. Appreciate it very much.
All right, now I'll let you get back to what you do best, and that's talk.
Love you, man. All right, sorry for the sidetrack there, but I don't get much chance to spend some time with Barry because we're always both so busy up here. That was actually a real pleasure for me to get a couple of minutes with someone that I've come to know, love, and respect. So back to the match for a moment here. It's 4-1, and Jim has a shot at the 9 to get to 4-2, and I apologize for being a little bit negligent in describing the action to you, but you don't really need me to describe what's going on. So let's just sit back and see what Jim can do. I think this is a big, big shot for him, for a confidence builder. And he made it. All right, it's 4-2. And Jim's breaking. He's back in the match. Barry tends to kid around a lot, but if you know him, you know he means everything he says, and he backs it up too. And he's a hands-on promoter. He's a hands-on boss. I mean, Barry's involved in all aspects of this, and maybe Scott and I do most of the actual day-to-day running of the tournament, but all the support network that we need, Barry provides it for us. All right, let's watch Jim break here. He's got to control the rock. Well, he did, but he didn't make a ball. He left Efren straight in on the 1, and there doesn't really seem to be much trouble out there. Everything goes in a pocket. Nothing's tied up. Frankly, I think from the 1 to the 2, he's got a little angle on the 1. I think he can follow it up with some left and just come high on the 2 ball. And he doesn't want to be straight. He's not. And straight in on the 3 will probably work. Looks like just 2 rails out. And just a little finesse here, because I don't think he wants to play the 4-6, but yeah, he's going to play the 4 on the side, and that should just set up the rack perfectly for him. He'll come 1 rail down, playing the 5 in the corner. The 6 is hanging. Once he gets there, he's out. The 7 just goes straight in the side. Stop 8, stop 9. And it doesn't look like there's going to be too much trouble from here. One of the other new features we have for you this year, if you haven't already seen, is the inside pool news desk, where we've arranged to interview players before and after their matches. Jerry Tarantola and Rachel LeBink will be doing some of those pre-match interviews, and Jim Weish will be conducting some of the post-match stuff. We want to try to maybe let you hear from the players as they're getting ready to play, 5 or 10 minutes before their match, and give you a little new insight into what they're thinking and how they get prepared. So it's a new feature this year, and we're thrilled to be able to bring it to you. So stay tuned for that. Inside Pool Magazine is also here, JR and Sally, as they always are at the U.S. Open. And they'll have a great U.S. Open edition coming up for you in not too near future. It's 5-2 Efren. It's a race to 11. And let's see if I can see what's going on out here anywhere else. Right in front of me, got Shannon Dalton is playing. Looks like James Roberts from the USA, and they've just begun their match a little bit ago. Shannon's up 3-2. A little hard to see the rest of the names from my vantage point, but we'll try to give you an update as we can here. And you're watching live from the U.S. Open on Billiard Club Network, live from the Chalkoff Arena. Second day action from the 32nd U.S. Open. Efren Reyes to break. Efren made the corner ball. It hasn't really been flying in that much so far. Again, Barry wanted the break box to kind of help us not turn this thing just into a breaking contest. And so far, that's exactly what has not happened. It's not a breaking contest, and the corner ball is not going in as frequently as you might expect. Efren missed the one on the side, and that's quite a surprise. It really was not that difficult a shot. I think he was more concerned on how he was going to get on the three. On the two, I mean. He had to get in between the three and the cushion there so he could see the two. And probably a little too much focus on the shape. Don't know if Jim can see the one. And I'd say this is another kind of critical juncture here for Jim. He got back into the match at 4-2, and now it's 5-2, and all these balls are open, and if he doesn't leave Efren tough here, it's probably going to go to 6-2. Looks like he's got to spin it with some right and maybe get behind it. He was able to hit it, but I don't know. He's going to need a roll here. And he didn't get one. Efren straight in on the one. Looks like he'll just stop there. Watch out for the point. And as I was saying tonight, we've got just a loaded lineup for you at 7, 9, and 11. Players such as Bustamante, Archer, Shane Van Boning, Dennis Orcolo, Rodney Morris. Several past U.S. Open champions are here, and as is Barry's tradition and has been for quite some time, they are always welcome back and have automatic entry into every U.S. Open that they attend. A little earlier, yesterday, before we opened up, Barry presented defending U.S. Open champion John Schmidt with his green jacket. And kind of a funny little story here. Nick Varner was coming to the U.S. Open, and he called Barry up. Efren wins 6-2 now. Efren. So anyway, Nick calls Barry, and Barry, says, I'm looking forward to you being here and all that. And Barry says, please make sure you wear your green jacket. And Nick says, and Barry did a great Nick Varner imitation last night, but Barry says, Nick says to Barry, Barry, I put on a little weight since I quit smoking. I can't quite get that jacket buttoned. And Barry went out and made him a new jacket. What a guy. Anyway, we had a little fun with that last night, and John Schmidt received his jacket as the defending Open champion, and I got a John Schmidt story to tell you here pretty soon that you're not really going to believe. But it's true, so you have to believe it. We'll get to that in just a second. Okay, Efren came up dry on the break. Jim's got a shot on the one ball. The balls are open. In practice, Jim would probably run this rack 8 out of 10 times, but under these conditions, let's see how he responds. He does need this to get back into the match. If he goes down 7-2, it's probably going to be pretty difficult for him to fight back. But at 6-3 with the break, he could string a couple together and make a match out of it. So let's see what he does. Well, I think that's just nerves. That's pretty much, that's a routine shot. He'll make that shot 98% of the time. But he did get a bit of a roll and kind of deserved a roll after all of that. So Efren played safe, and Jim cannot hit the 2-ball. Can't quite see the angle he has from here, but if he can do so, he might just go below that. Well, looks like he's going to go 2 rails, and he kicked it right in the side, and he didn't get rewarded for a nice kick shot. Don't know if he can see the 3. A little bit of a risky kick he took there, because had he not pocketed that in the side, it's going to be sitting right in front of that side pocket. I was kind of surprised he kicked that way, but he wanted to make sure he hit the ball. He probably didn't want to get too fancy and take a chance on leaving Efren ball in hand. Looks like he's going to just try to spin this little curve and either make it or come out safe. Well, he gave it a ride. And Efren has an open shot at the 3 in the side. If you've never been to the U.S. Open, it is truly a spectacular event. If you love pool, one time in your life, at least one time, you need to be here. Great weather, great hosts, great hospitality, and the best pool you'll ever see. There's an incredible amount of work that goes into setting up the Chesapeake Conference Center for this event. I was privy to that this week. I got in here several days early because Barry had asked me to come early and run his one pocket event over at Q Masters, which I was flattered to do. But by being here a little early, I got here and the convention center, conference center, was pretty much pretty bare, and it's quite an effort to load in 16 diamond tables. The arena the Chalk-Off arena that you're looking at is built from scratch for this event every year. Rob Sikora does a tremendous job. He brings all this equipment with him. Pretty much does it all by himself with a little bit of support. And just to set this venue up to provide the spectator seating, the tables, we have 20-some vendors here, cue makers, clothing manufacturers, Joe Blackburn Cue Repair. Joe's been coming to this event for 25 years. It's really a family atmosphere. You see the same folks year in and year out. They support Barry's event unconditionally. But there's always room for new people, and we'd love to have you here. So if you're in the area and you can get here this year, please do so. And if you can't, see if you can maybe squeeze it into your calendar next year. Barry has made arrangements with the hotels in the immediate vicinity here for preferred rates. If you're attending the U.S. Open, it's very reasonable. And there's just wonderful, wonderful hospitality. as Barry said when we were talking a little earlier, by moving the event to October, he has pretty much avoided any issues with storms and hurricanes. The dates are posted for '08 and '09 already, so you can make your plans well in advance if you'd like to attend. And remember, it is the U.S. Open. Anybody can play. You pay your $500 and you are in. There's also qualifiers that go on throughout the country and leading up to this. And that's another way that you can get yourself into probably the strongest field you'll ever play in. Well, Jim got himself into trouble there. He had an opportunity to maybe get another beat on the wire on his side, and he saved himself on the 3-ball. I believe it's the 3. It might be the 4. It's a little hard to see from my venue where I'm positioned. I've not only got a little tough angle at it, I've got the Accustats boom camera a little bit in front of me, so I'm looking at a monitor, and as much as the TV balls show up well on your set from on my monitor, it's just still a little tough to tell the 4 from the 5. Looks like Efren shooting the 4-ball. The 5-7 is not dead, but if they're frozen, and I don't believe they are, he might be able to throw it, although it appears it's more headed towards the diamond than it is up towards the nose of the cushion by the corner pocket. So let's see what he elects to do. He could play safe by just thinning the 5 on the left-hand side. It should just go to that side cushion and come 2 rails behind the 9, or 1 rail behind the 9, but I think he's going to try to make the 7-ball. And Efren knew exactly where the 5 was going. If you noticed before the shot, he pointed his cue between the 6 and the 9, anticipating that's where the 5-ball's path would go. It just didn't come out quite far enough. Don't know if he can make it in the corner. And once again, we might have gone for it. Efren knew he could lock him up 100% of the time there. Now, Jim's got a 1-rail kick, and the 5 is makeable in the side. And I think what Jim wants to do here is, if he's not going to play to make that 5-ball, he's probably going to try to hit it on the high side and get some separation. I don't think he's going to hit this too hard. He didn't want to risk scratching in the corner. Well, what would you do? Bank it cross side, or play it down to the head rail and send the cue ball 2 rails behind the 9-ball? That's exactly what he did. And once again, it's a percentage play. He can execute that shot probably every time. He's got 2 balls that he can protect the cue ball with, and even if he came out a little short, he had the possibility of the 8-ball blocking the 5. At the end of this game, I want to get back and tell you this story about John Schmidt, and stand by for that. You'll be fascinated. And as Efren predicted when he played the safe, Jim did not hit the 5-ball. Efren has ball in hand, and it should be pretty academic from here to go up 8-2. well, this is going right in, and it's going to be 8-2 Efren. So let me tell you a little John Schmidt story here. Let's see, it was Saturday. John was over at Q Masters, and John has recently acquired sponsorship from OB1 Shafts, and that's a product that's been recently introduced on the market. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. Different kind of technology. So anyway, John has become affiliated with OB, and they provided him with obviously some of their shafts. And they were making him a butt to go along with the shaft to have a complete OB1Q. Hold off here a second while Barry announces the dinner menu.
Tea or soda, all for $11 for everything. It's quite good. It's to the left and walk out of the bar from 5 to 8 p.m.
Real quick, I'll get back to John Schmidt in a second. Efren came up dry on the break. Jim's right on top of the one ball, and looks like he's going to just try to play it safe. He's got to watch the corner pocket here that he doesn't hit it too hard, and maybe scratch off the 8 ball. That's a good shot. And looks like Efren's probably going to go 2 rails behind. Hit the 1 thin, maybe send the cue ball down towards the 2 and the 6. It's always fun to sit here and anticipate what Efren's going to do, because you're wrong most of the time, but every now and then I might get lucky, so let's see what he does. No, he hit it slow. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Well, I think he let it come out, but just the fact that he played that shot with the speed that he played it and the knowledge wouldn't have been my first thought, I'll tell you that. Anyway, so back to John just for a second. So anyway, John comes over to Q Masters, and he's got his new OB1 shaft, and he's got a butt that isn't the proper butt. So he screws the OB1 shaft on there. He starts hitting some balls, and he's just trying things out, getting the feel for it. So a couple hours go by, and the butt that they were making for John shows up at Q Masters, and now he's got a complete brand new OB1Q. Okay, so John screws it together, and decides to practice a little straight pull. Now, most of you who know of John Schmidt's reputation, and for those of you that don't, John Schmidt's nickname is Mr. 400. And that's because several years ago, John Schmidt ran 400 balls in straight pull. And if you want to do the math on that, that's about 28 consecutive racks of straight pull. So Mr. 400 screws his cue together. Brand new cue. He's now had maybe 10 minutes. And he sets himself up a break shot, and he runs about 30 balls in his first inning, and he misses. And he racks him up again and sets himself up a break shot and runs another 30, 35 balls, and he misses. In John Schmidt's third inning, with the cue that he has been playing with for maybe 30 minutes, he proceeds to run 403 balls. I'm not kidding. I was there. 403 balls with the cue that he had for 30 minutes. And I got to talk to John a little bit after that was over, and he said he never, I think only one time, and that's just shy of 30 racks, by the way. He said, I believe only one time in the entire run did he have a break ball from behind the rack. He never once had a break shot where his cue ball was on the rail. Now, this doesn't mean he had connect the dots every time. Straight pull's just not that easy. Got to go into the stack several times. You got to bump one out here, move a cluster, get yourself a break shot, all that kind of stuff. Well, 403 balls later, John unscrewed that cue. So I don't know. We may have to start calling him Mr. 403 now. And I was kidding him a little bit after that. I said, well, John, from now on when we play, it's going to have to be 400 no count for you. All right, back to the match here for a second. Look. And the magician performs another trick. Kisses the 2-ball in off the side. But he is hooked on the 3. And I think you'll probably see him try to, I don't know, I don't like kicking the 3-ball off the long rail. The possibility of the scratch or the 3-ball contacting the 5. I think he's going this way because he's got a shot to make the 9-ball with the cue ball, and he's got a shot to make the 3 in the corner, and he's got a shot to play safe. He's got a 3-way shot here, and he did scratch. I think that's what he was afraid of, kicking the other way. This way, you know, I mean, you've got to hit that just right to scratch in the corner the way he did. Now, what do you think? Is Jim going to shoot the 3-9 in the side, or is he going to play the run out? His arm's still a little tight, I think, from having missed a few opportunities, and he played himself out of line a couple of times. It was his own fault. But the 3-9 definitely isn't the correct shot here. The balls are all open. A player of Jim's caliber is supposed to get out from here. And looks like he's going to have to come down off the 3 and just come out for the 6 in the side. If he gets on the 6, he should be out. He should be out from here, but once again, you're playing under the lights in the Chalkoff Arena. You're playing arguably the greatest player who ever screwed a cue together. You've got a roadmap, and it still looks tough. But I think if he can respond here, he'll feel a lot better about himself. And all of us that play, we know that just get yourself a little bit of confidence and start feeling good about how you're stroking the ball, and you can string a few racks. But he just can't give Efren many more opportunities. Efren only needs 3 more games. All right. He's got the angle here, just a little bit of high right, 2 rails out, and 9 on the side. It's going to be 8-3, and Jim's going to break. Okay, it's 8-3. Once again, we want to remind everybody you're watching live on Billiard Club Network, live from the Chalkoff Arena. This is the 32nd Annual U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. This is day 2. My name is Ken Schumann, and I am pleased and proud to be able to do this commentary for this particular match. And also just as pleased to be able to enjoy all the great pool that you're watching. Thanks again to Rob Sikora and his staff and his company for making all of this possible. As we were talking a little earlier about the setup of the venue and all of that stuff, there's just an awful lot that goes in behind the scenes that's pretty invisible to those of you that walk in here and see a completely set up arena, and as it should be. But just a lot of dedicated people involved in putting this together. Jim came up dry on the break. Efren cannot see the 1-ball. He's not going to push. It looks like he's going to kick. Well, it did then. If he's going to kick this way, it looks like he's going to try to make the 1-ball. Maybe he's just going to hit it slow and come 2 rails. Absolutely. Now he needs to come out, or he's going to be behind the 5. I don't think he got there. without a doubt, the greatest kicker ever. The score is now 8-3 in favor of Efren Reyes. And this is a race to 11. Well, you know, he's got just a touch funny here. He's cutting the 5 back to his right, and I think he's going to just have the 5 come off the rail and to play the 5 in the corner. That's a 4-ball, I'm sorry. And just draw back about 8 to 10 inches, and it'll be straight on the 5. As I look around the arena here, even though it's just past 4 o'clock, and this is winding down for the afternoon session, we still have probably 300, 400 people in here, and expect to be pretty well jammed tonight. As we were telling you earlier, we have the seeded players starting to play at 7 p.m. tonight. Just one great match after the other, and I can tell you this, I believe Mr. Fleming has got a match for you at 9 o'clock tonight, featuring without a doubt the hottest player in the country, and that's none other than Shane Van Boening. All right, Efren wins game 12 and leads 9-3. We were talking about Shane Van Boening real quick, who is sponsored by the BCA Pool League, by the way, and earlier this year Shane finished second to Dennis Orcolo at the EnjoyPool.com 9-ball championships in Las Vegas. That was a 64-player invitation event. Just prior to that, he won the World 10-ball championship. And for those of you that don't know, about 2 weeks ago, Shane played a challenge match with Corey Dool in South Dakota. It was a $10,000 per player, winner-take-all, 10-ball race to 100 over 2 days. As a matter of fact, Billy Incardona and I believe Grady did the commentary on that match. And Shane came out on top 100-70 over Corey Dool over a 2-day period. And with all due respect to Corey, it really wasn't even that close, because I believe at the very latter stages of the match, Corey won like 9 out of the last 10 games. But at one point, I believe Shane ran, I think it was maybe 7 or 8 consecutive racks of 10-ball. And if you have played 10-ball, you know how difficult that is. The balls don't quite break the way they do in 9, and that extra ball sure presents you a little more traffic. So you're in for a treat. 9 o'clock tonight, live from the Chalk-Off Arena, brought to you by BilliardClub.net. Shane Van Boening and Silver Ochoa. And I'm sorry to say I just don't have the notes in front of me to tell you what the 7 o'clock match is, but we'll try to see if we can get that for you before we conclude here with Efren and Jim Faircloth. All right, Jim played a good safe. Efren can't see the 1 ball. I can't tell from my angle if he can kick short and try to make it. I might have to spin to do that, and if he can't, he's probably going to go. Well, I'm not going to try to sit there and second guess Efren. Let's just see what he does. I think it's just a straight masse. Yeah, I was wrong again. Now, you may think that's lucky that he left Jim safe, but I can assure you that Efren knew exactly what he was doing with the speed he hit that shot, and he knew if the 1 contacted a couple of those balls down there, he had a pretty good chance to leave Jim without a shot. And Jim's really got to be careful with this kick, because if he sends the 1 ball towards the 9, that could be a problem. He sends a cue ball towards the 9, could be a problem. He may just go ahead and blast here and take his chances. Well, hit it with a good speed, but I think he's going to let Efren see it, and he did. kind of looked like Efren came up a little on that shot, and it's always a surprise when Efren misses the ball. I mean, you say, well, why did he miss? And once again, he hit it with a speed with which he could see the 2 ball if he made it, and he didn't sell out if he didn't. And those subtleties are what makes him the greatest player ever, and what makes us not. So let's see how Jim responds. I think at this point Jim would just like to maybe run a rack or two if he could, and give himself a little bit of a confidence boost for his next match, whoever that might be. Now, I'm going to say that that's probably going to be the end of this game. Efren has ball in hand, everything's open. And I would imagine he's just going to try to get straight in on the 2 in the corner and roll up for the 3, and that'll set the entire rack up. And he's probably going to punch it over to the other side of the 3 ball. Which he did, and it's pretty academic from here. Just 2 rails out for the 4 on the side. And it's going to be connect the dots after that, as Danny D likes to say. Connect the dots, roadmap, Cosmo, whatever you want to call it. You've heard all the expressions. But this man sure makes the game look easy. Well, I don't expect this to present a problem. He'll just roll it to the rail and play the 8 over by where he is. Oh, I was wrong. He was able to come back on the other side. Stop, and he's going to be on the hill. And if this match gets done in the next couple of minutes or so, I think I'll stay up here just a few more and see if I can give you a little bit of an update of what's going on outside the chalk-off arena to the best of my ability, update you on some of the scores. It's very difficult for me to read the player name cards from up here. If I recognize the players, I can tell you who they are and what the scores are. But we've got the AccuStats booth up here in the nosebleed section. But it is a great view. Also right here in the venue itself, we've got very large video screens that are showing this match to the spectators here as well, so they can kind of keep an eye on what's going on outside the chalk-off arena and also the feature match. And Efren's putting his break cue away as he broke for the last time in the match. Didn't make a ball. Jim has a shot on the 1. And looks like he's going to go maybe just around the 2. And he held it with some inside. Okay. If the 3 passes, the 9, this should not present much in the way of a problem for him. If it doesn't, it looks like he's got the angle where he can come with some low left and just go 2 rails underneath the 9 ball. I can't quite tell from here. I think he's just going to follow it straight up. Yeah, that was the better way to play that shot if he had the option, because he could put a better speed on it and make sure that there was no way he would not have an angle on the 3 one way or the other, that he can come out 2 rails for the 4. He's done that very nicely. Looks like he's starting to get a little bit of the feel for the speed. It probably is going to be too late, but like I said, he'll feel good about himself if he can run this rack, regardless of what happens. Got a little angle, but I think he's just going to slow stop it right there. And this is the key shot for him here, the 5 to the 6. He's got to make sure he gets a good enough angle on the 6 to come out for the 7. He doesn't want to play the 7 in the side. He'd like to get straight in on the 7 and play it in the same corner. He's playing the 5 ball in. And then he can just stop on the 7 and shoot the 8 and follow down for the 9. So just don't want to get straight here, Jim. Well, he's got a little angle. I think he's going to be all right. He might have to take a little longer shot on the 7. But I think just a little bit above center here, and he can get himself out towards the middle of the table. A little longer than he wanted, but he wanted to make sure on a shot like that, you don't want to come up short. You're much better off long on that shot. The 7's, he's got a little off angle. But if you come up short on that, then he's got a severe cut on the 7. He's got to go back and forth with the cue ball and deal with both side pockets. So he played it the right. He played it the smart way. He's got a little off angle here, and you can see where he just put his cue tip. I think he's going to just try to stop the cue ball there and take a little more cut on the 8, as opposed to trying to follow this up with some inside or try to force it. And that's exactly what he did. I think he probably got a little more than he wanted to, but we've all been there. It's this stage of a match against the kind of opponent he's playing. You just don't want to finesse anything. I just got to hit this with a nice, good, firm, medium speed. Just a touch of right, and go over and back. Yeah, he jumped up on that. I think he jumped up on it, and I think the reason he missed it so bad, he tried to put a little too much spin on it, and the cue ball deflected off to the left, which made him hit the 8 a little thinner, and it's going to be academic from here. And Efren's going through to the next round. Now, Efren does not play again today, for those of you that are following him. I believe his next match will be sometime tomorrow night. We'll try to get you an update on that later on. So it's an 11-3 victory for Efren over Jim Faircloth from Raleigh, North Carolina. And the spectators are starting to move outside of the arena to watch the other matches that are going on right now. And let me see. Immediately to my right on table 7, we've got a really good match going on there between Shannon Dalton and Jim Roberts. And Shannon's up 8-7. By the way, we are not playing rack your own here. It is opponent racks. The 2-ball has to be in the back. And we did talk about the fact that they have to break from the box. See if I can get you some other information here about what's going on. Really haven't had anything so far in the way of a major upset to tell you about. Pretty much it's gone according to consensus with the players you'd expect to win have been winning. But before the week is out, you can be sure we're going to have some names that have beat some players that you're going to say, how'd that happen? And to my right also is Ramil Gallego from the Philippines as well. I cannot see the opponent's name card to tell you who he's playing, and I don't quite recognize the opponent from up here, but Ramil is losing 5-1. And Ramil Gallego is a darn strong player from the Philippines. He's been around a while. I think he's probably about 40 years old. Some 15 or so years ago, he won the Sands Open in Reno. That's when they were playing a 3-set final in the Sands, 2 out of 3 sets, race to 7. Wish I could remember his opponent. I probably can, but it escapes me right at the moment. But he's certainly a quality player. But he's on the short end of 5-1 score. But tonight you're going to see players like Ralph Souquet, Rodney Morris, Alan Hopkins, Nick Varner, Archer, Pagulayan, Orcolo, Bustamante, Rob Saez, Jeremy Jones, Sean Putnam. I'm sure your favorite is in there somewhere or another, so please stay tuned. You're watching live on the Billiard Club Network, and this is the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship.
Yes, Rob. Okay, you got it. Yep.
Hey everybody, I got some news for you. I just got a call from the production booth, and we've got a segment coming up here for you momentarily from the Inside Pool News Desk. I had told you earlier that we're doing live interviews with players before and after matches, so stay tuned for that. It's coming up right in front of you on your computer screen. And I'm not going to tell you who you're going to see. You're just going to have to wait to find out. And we told you that tonight's program is 7, 9, and 11, and we'll resume, just probably slightly before 7 for you live here from the Billiard Club Network and the Chalk-Off Arena. And our program also will resume tomorrow with matches at 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. And then the evening programs again at 5 and at 7, 9, 11. Oh, I also want to mention to you that due to the size of the field and the fact that we got our start on Sunday night with we only played 2 rounds last night because we had a players meeting about 4 o'clock, and then we had some ceremonial stuff. And with the Sunday start, we only played 2 rounds last night, so what it did is it gave us just a little bit more of a challenge to get everything done, and so we can get you the final 4 players on Saturday. As a result of that, we are going to have a round at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. We had to add in another round on Wednesday, and we decided it would be best for the players and for the spectators to play an extra round at 9 a.m. in the morning rather than add a round at 1 a.m. in the evening, so we can get our 7 rounds in on Wednesday and get us back on track to be able to go our normal schedule on Thursday, Friday, and leading you into the finals on Saturday. So stay tuned for the Inside Pool News Desk coming up. Brought to you by Billiard Club Network and Inside Pool. And I think with that, everybody, I'm going to sign off here for a little bit until I can get back with you sometime tomorrow, hopefully. And we want to thank you for your viewing, for your participation, for your support of the Billiard Club Network. and for your support of the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. It's been an honor to talk to you this afternoon, and enjoy this evening's program, and I'll be hopefully back at you sometime tomorrow. Stay tuned for Inside Pool News Desk.
Big things are happening. We're literally making sports history. Lots to talk about, no question. We're at the Inside Pool Extreme Press Box. We have a lot of sponsorship support, fan support, and player support. And there was absolutely no question in my mind. The first person I wanted to sit down with was John Schumann, 2006 U.S. Open champion. Thank you very much for spending this.
Very good character.
So far, you've enjoyed the experience?
Yeah, great. Obviously, a lot of people are telling me it's a repeat and pulling for you. Last year, not too many people expected me to win, so it's a little different atmosphere. A lot of pressure from my family and friends. I think they show up and they do their best, so there's a lot of pressure on me.
When you're not playing pool, what is it exactly that you do for fun?
It's golfing, really. I like to play a lot of golf, I like to play a lot of pool. Anything that'll bite.
That's similar to pool then.
Pretty much.
Cool. A little more pressure as well. You're 50,000 first. Is that,
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
whet your appetite a little bit?
Yeah, it does. That's a lot of money, and I'd like to win it.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
What sort of preparation did you do for this event?
Well, I have been practicing a lot, the last couple of weeks. You just want to practice and not put too much expectations on it.
And like something to clap. Obviously, as you can see, behind us. Pretty clear picture
Yeah.
to visualize. You actually visualize 2007. It's a 32nd annual US Open. Big things are happening. We're literally making sports history. A lot to talk about, no question. We're the inside pool, extreme press box. We have a lot of sponsorship support, fan support, and player support, and there's absolutely no question in my mind. The first person that I wanted to sit down with was John Smith, 2006 US Open champion. Thank you very much for coming.
Very good there.
So far, you enjoying the experience?
Yep, great.
Cool, sounds good. How's this year different from last year?
Well, obviously, a lot of people are telling me a lot of pressure from my family and friends. They think you just show up and they do your best. So there's a lot of pressure on me.
When you're not playing pool, what is it exactly that you do for fun?
Golfing, really. I like to play a lot of golf. I like to play a lot of pool. Anything that'll bite.
Similar to pool, then.
Pretty much.
Cool. A little more pressure as well. You're 50,000 first. Is that,
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
whet your appetite a little bit?
Yeah, it does. It's a lot of money. And I like to win. Well, I have been practicing a lot, the last couple of weeks. Last year I wasn't practicing much.